Welcome to this week's Supply Chain Update, brought to you by Phoenix International. Let's start with market conditions. On the Trans-Pacific eastbound lane, April demand has picked up from March, with stronger liftings and higher spot rates driven by the April general rate increase. The peak season surcharge remains on hold, helping to maintain stable contract volumes. For the Far East westbound, freight rates remain steady amid persistent overcapacity. Seasonal holidays and upcoming tariffs may cause minor fluctuations, but no major price shifts are expected. On the transatlantic westbound route, several carriers have postponed surcharges for Southern Europe. North Europe's peak season surcharge has been withdrawn, and East Mediterranean rates remain unchanged due to weak demand. Now, let's take a look at operational updates. Equipment availability on the Trans-Pacific eastbound lane remains solid, with no significant shortages reported across origin gateways. In the Far East westbound market, temporary factory closures during the Qingming Festival and Labor Day holidays are expected to slow down operations, though no major equipment issues have been flagged. Transatlantic westbound continues to face equipment shortages in Central Europe, particularly inland regions like Austria, Hungary, and Switzerland. Mersin is now also showing early signs of similar constraints, with carrier haulage advised to manage risk. Turning to capacity management, the Trans-Pacific eastbound trade remains stable in April, with only minor blank sailings on East Coast and Pacific Southwest services. The Far East westbound lane saw a brief tightening in early April, with added blank sailings, but capacity has since rebounded, exceeding 310,000 TEUs by mid-month. On the transatlantic westbound lane, blank sailings persist in Southern Europe, driven by ongoing congestion and delays as carriers aim to stabilize service levels. China has announced a 34% tariff increase on U.S. goods in response to recent U.S. trade actions. This move is expected to hit American exporters, especially in agriculture, while raising concerns among analysts about broader supply chain disruptions. The two largest global economies show no signs of backing down. The U.S. has finalized a 10% base tariff on all imported goods, with higher rates set for countries with perceived unfair trade barriers. These reciprocal tariffs will roll out in two phases between April 5th and April 9th and may lead to shifts in global sourcing and cost structures. Beginning May 2nd, the U.S. will remove duty-free treatment for low-value e-commerce imports from China and Hong Kong. Logistics providers are preparing for increased customs processing and possible airport delays, as all shipments will now require duty assessment and compliance checks. BlackRock's acquisition of two major Panama ports is facing delays due to a government audit of the long-term concession granted to CK Hutchison. The outcome could affect final approval of the broader port transaction and add new layers of geopolitical tension to U.S.-China infrastructure interests. And that concludes our update on the global supply chain. Thank you for joining us. We will continue to monitor these developments and keep you informed. You can follow us on LinkedIn and YouTube for more supply chain related updates.